Hi, it's Miss Sweeney again. Today, we'll be talking about preservation and storage of food crops. We've been discussing about crops, medicinal crops, food crops, cash crops, ornamental crops. So now we'll be talking about how can we preserve these food crops. At the end of this topic, you'll be able to 1. Define storage or preservation. 2. Mention 2 ways of storing food crops. You mention 2 ways of storing or preserving food crops. Pay attention so that you can get all the points that has been stated out. Alright, we are here. Food crops are the crops we eat, and you know that. So example, corn, strawberry, apple, rice, yam. So mention the fruits, orange, grapes. So you can add more examples to it. Then preservation of food crops simply means keeping crops for future use. So why they keep it for future use is that when dry season comes, sometimes the ground cannot produce crops again when the ground is dry. So it helps us to use them when the farming season is over. So farming season is also known as the rainy season in Nigeria. Alright, ways of preserving crops. We'll be looking at the ways that we can preserve our crops. First, by drying. This is the process of putting crops under the sun to dry up the water in it. So your rice, beans, and other crops like dry things, you need to put them under the sun to dry so that it can last longer. So assuming you don't dry your rice, it will spoil. That's why sometimes, most times, rice spoil when water touches it. 2. Canning, bagging, or bottling. So 3 of them are the same process. So this is the process of putting dry or fresh crops in containers like cans, bottles, and bag. These containers are usually sealed at the top to prevent air from going inside. So example is your canned corn. So the corn inside is really fresh. Corn beef, you see, is fresh. Then dry ones, we can mention them. We've come to the end of this topic. I hope you enjoyed our lesson. See you in the lesson and be sure to answer questions on your own. Bye.